What's up guys, it's Rowan here from ArtistSmart TV. And year 11 and 12 can be a stressful journey. It can feel at times that your entire future rests on the next mark that you get in your upcoming assessment. And that can create a whole lot of anxiety. In fact, research shows that almost 1 in 3 students in years 11 and 12 can feel clinical levels of anxiety during the journey. And so in this video, what I want to share with you is 3 really practical research-backed strategies that you can employ to improve your response to the stress of years 11 and 12 so that you can get through more successfully and perform at your best. So let's dive in and find out what these 3 strategies are. So step number 1 is to pay attention to your breath. Now that might sound a little weird, but hear me out here. We have 2 key drivers of our nervous system. We have something called the sympathetic nervous system and we have something called the parasympathetic nervous system. Now to simplify this, you've probably heard of these systems before as your flight and fight or your rest and digest. So our sympathetic nervous system is our stress response. When it gets activated, we're in fight or flight mode. Our heartbeat starts to increase and it starts to really palpitate in our chest. We might start to sweat, it might be hard to swallow, our gut stops working, and we can start to really just overall feel quite anxious. And that can happen if you're getting a really visible stress response to a situation throughout years 11 and 12. Now, on the flip side, our rest and digest or our parasympathetic nervous system does the opposite. It slows our body down. It slows our breath and our heartbeat. Our stomach starts to work again and our digestive system works. We can swallow. We're not sweating and we're actually conserving energy. And so the critical thing here is that when you're starting to feel stressed and anxious, what's actually happening is your sympathetic nervous system is being switched on. And it can get switched on at times where there is actually no immediate threat to us. It's an important part of our system because historically it's what keeps us safe from danger, right? It's why we want to have the ability to fight or flight, but often it can get triggered too easily. Now, the way that we can actually better manage stress, therefore, is actually through our breath, because our breath, how we breathe, is actually the thing that helps us flip the switch between our sympathetic and our parasympathetic nervous system. So if you start to feel any of those symptoms of stress and anxiety building, a really powerful thing you can do is start to pay attention to your breath. And actively, by slowing your breath down, it can support you switching on and flipping that switch so that you're actually turning on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to help you feel more relaxed and be able to perform at your best. Now, what does this mean? What does this look like? Well, look, there is a super simple activity that you can do. In essence, it's about paying attention to breath and what that means, and you can do this certainly with your eyes closed if you want, but you can also do it eyes open if you're sitting, for example, in the middle of an exam and you've started feeling this anxiousness. And it's to pay attention to your breath, to breathe in and then to breathe out. And to ideally do it all through your nose, not through your mouth. So nose breathing in and out. And every time you breathe in, just count to 3 as you breathe in. So I've just counted to 3 and then I'm going to breathe out. 1, 2, 3. And to do that for a couple of minutes. Nice and simple, right? 3 in for count, 3 out. Now do it all through your nose, that's really important. And secondly, try to breathe from your diaphragm. That's going to make sure that you're breathing really deeply. So when you breathe, feel like you were filling up your stomach, right? Feel like your stomach's just growing, like you've eaten loads of food and your ribs are starting to stretch. That means that you're doing deep breathing, and just this simple act of paying attention to your breath and breathing deeper is going to help turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. So that is step number 1. So step number 2 is to get more sleep. Now that might seem apparent, but here's why it's really critical. Research from Harvard shows that when we go into our deepest sleep, it has a significant physiological impact on our body. So first of all, our heart rate slows, our body temperature drops, and we overall relax. And what's actually going on here is physiologically, sleep improves our body's immune system response. Now that's important because our immune system and the fact that it's stronger is going to help us better cope with stress and the stressful nature of years 11 and 12. Now furthermore, if you get sleep disruption, so you get woken up or you just don't sleep very well, this actually interferes with both your neurotransmitters and it can also lead to an increase in certain stress hormones. Now what this means is that your ability to actually emotionally regulate falls. Now, what does that actually mean in sort of simpler language? Well, our ability to emotionally regulate is about how we respond to challenges and situations that may appear in our life. And ultimately, a big part of managing stress is about learning on, techniques and strategies on how we can better respond to it and be resilient to it. So sleep is this really great underlying factor that's going to help overall improve our ability to emotionally regulate and respond to the challenges that appear in our life. Now, further research here shows as well that prolonged periods of a lack of sleep or minimal sleep also can lead to increased anxiety and depression. So it's so critical during your year 11 and 12 journey to ensure that you get sleep. It's not worth it in the bigger picture in giving up sleep for study, because ultimately what that's going to do is it's going to potentially lead to you being increasingly stressed and have a lower immune response, which is going to make it harder as the 2-year journey progresses for you to do your best. So really critically, I want you to ask yourself as an action here, how much sleep are you actually getting? Is it 6, 7, 8 hours? Is it 3 hours a night? And then I want you to ask yourself, okay, if that's how much I'm getting, really what is going to be a better amount for me? And I think most of us know often what the sort of amount of sleep is that we actually really need to perform at our best. And then what I want you to do is to plan out, okay, what are things I can do to better improve my sleep hygiene and routine? And so as an example, it could be something really simple, like having a sleep ritual in terms of the key things that you do from a certain time in the afternoon or evening, I should say, that will help you actually get into the rhythm of getting ready to go to sleep. So I want you to have a moment and I want you to just write down how much are you currently sleeping right now? How much do you think you need to sleep? And then what is 2 or 3 things that you can do, because I think you already probably know what you could do to improve the amount and the quality of sleep that you get. So step number 3 is to change your environment up. Studies that have been conducted show that the physical environment around us can have a huge impact on our mindset and our mental health. So for example, a study done by the University of Minnesota identified that just simply having a bright light, windows, and fresh air can have a significant impact in improving the positivity of our mental state. So what does this mean for you? Well, particularly if you're feeling a little stressed and a little anxious, a simple thing that you can therefore do is just move locations, change your environment. So that could mean if you've been studying in a certain area, move, change it up, go to somewhere else, get outside, get some fresh air and some sunlight, some vitamin D into you as well. So as simple as it sounds, just changing your environment can have a huge impact. And so what this is going to take for you is some self-awareness. It's going to take recognition of, hey, am I feeling stressed right now? Like I'm starting to feel anxious. And then as soon as you've identified that growing sense of stress and potentially anxiety, then changing up your environment, making a conscious decision to go somewhere else, go for a walk, get some fresh air, turn a light on, move, physically move yourself. So there we have it. There are 3 simple things that you can do. Be mindful of your breathing, really importantly. Number 2, sleep more. And number 3, change your environment. Now, of course, there is a really important 4th step here. And that is, don't ever just take advice solely about your mental health from a dude on YouTube. So what that means is if you are struggling at any point with anxiety and mental health please seek out a professional. I can't stress that enough. There are some incredible professionals that are here to support you, whether or not that's getting in touch with, Lifeline or the Kids Helpline or Kids. There are plenty of fantastic organizations that have incredible support to help you get through what is the Year 11 and Year 12 journey and help you build the tools that you're going to need to be resilient and stay mentally healthy across the journey. We'll place some links below so that if you do need more support and professional support, you know where to go and where to seek help. If there is anything that we can do to help, of course, please leave a comment below and we'll do our best to support you. And of course, if you need more help at a holistic level in preparing for exams and managing the stress of the Year 11 and 12 journey with your study planning and organisation and so forth, get in touch with Art of Smart Education. Go to our website, artofsmart.com.au. We've got a fantastic mentoring team as part of our Pathfinder program that can help you navigate the journey. Until next time, I will see you on our next video.